Let's do it.
Wait, Morril?
Morril, yeah.
Morril.
That's what my dad says. I'm just trying to.
Wait, but you're Jew.
Yeah.
What kind of name is?
I guess it's like Polish, Russian, Jew. I don't know.
And also morale is like kind of like your morale.
But also it feels Ellis Island sellout shit.
It does.
You know that's not true.
What isn't true?
Supposedly it's not true that they changed people's names at Ellis Island.
Oh, really?
That's got to be true.
Based on what?
It's apparent.
She's an Ellis Island truther and has been for a long time.
Someone told me who I really respect and as knowledgeable said that it's kind of like that satanic panic. Like it's like something that can't be proven. It's something that is a myth that people have told themselves. And I don't know, but what do I know?
I don't know.
Well, hopefully.
I'm just trying to get canceled here.
You want to get canceled?
Yes, I want nothing more.
I was
than
hoping
to
we
just
talk
relax.
about cancel culture.
Well, yeah, what are your feelings? If you're just tuning in now, this is the Endless Honeymoon Podcast. I'm
We're
Moshe
with
Kasher.
Sam Morril.
And we wanted to know your thoughts on cancel culture, straight white men, transphobia in comedy.
Sam was talking about living in New York.
Oh, yeah, and New York City. Sam, you did not drive here today.
No, I can't. I can drive, but I have a license. But I kind of bullshit my way through the license.
My favorite thing about New Yorkers, they're so paradigmatically tough. But then you put them behind like a 3-cylinder.
I never said I was tough.
I'm just saying it's like the New Yorker.
The voice is misleading.
But isn't that's the vibe of New Yorkers? Like, I'm a tough guy, but you put them in behind like a 3-cylinder Chevy and they fucking freak out. They drive like the most ninny, scared people. My dad did that. My dad never drove a day in his life. He would have his best friend pick me up at the airport when we'd come visit. And he would be in the passenger seat like a king.
But here's the thing. Okay, I'm from Illinois. I didn't really learn how to drive that well. Then I moved to New York. And then I learned to drive in Los Angeles. And now I'm an excellent driver in Los Angeles because I just learned here. You know, like I would never drive in New York. You'd have to be like stupid. Why would you do that?
That's the only place I could drive.
In New York?
In New York?
Yeah, because that's where I learned. So I can.
Oh, so you already learned to drive in New York. So you're
easy,
like, I can't even.
There's lights. There's like, you know where to stop.
So you actually know how to drive.
I can't. I've had people. I remember Joe Liston. I did a road gig like in 2011, and he's like, it's 30 hours of driving because it's like we drive to each different gig. It was like a run, and he's like, we'll split the driving. And I did a half hour of the 30 hours. And he was mad at me the whole time. He was like, you fucking lied to me. I was like, I said I was a bad driver and I have a license. And he was like, you can't fucking drive.
I do not miss those crazy, like, 50-hour, like 10 hours between gigs. You're stringing together your rent money kind of day. I mean, I miss the spirit of them. But I don't miss the inconvenience.
We were like in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. They were like, I think Randy Travis streaked naked through this casino like a month ago.
I want to go there where there's like ocean and beach.
I don't think so.
Apparently, like the very Upper Peninsula is like the last place to stay. Like,
well, climate change.
Climate change, that's like the safest place to go is the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
The places you don't want to go.
I know,
but there's beaches there.
As if we have been ravaged by this climate disaster enough. We're gonna all have to move to fucking northern Michigan.
Like where that place was. Remember we went to that festival?
Which? Oh, Traverse City.
Yeah, like up there and then like wherever the ocean is.
Literally the coldest place I've ever been.
But also in the summer, it's supposed to be amazing.
Sam, you have a new Netflix special coming out. It's dropping tomorrow?
September 1st.
When are we releasing
Same time
this?
tomorrow is the name of the special.
It's very funny.
Thank you.
And you talked about stuff that's close to my heart, which is...
pedophilia?
That's not my heart that I would say that's close to.
It's more his soul.
Close to my crotch. That's close to my crotch. But how to survive in a concentration camp? You have a great bit in there about a non-Jew at a concentration camp going is there somebody I can talk to?
Yeah.
I've always thought if I was I wonder if you think this as a comedian too. You're a great comic, great joke writer, just a funny person.
Thank you.
I always thought maybe I could have survived I could have been that guy that the Germans were like, come Jew clown. Into bar, entertain for us. You think
you could have charmed your way? That's the entertainer. Like whenever you see a comic bomb and you're like, I'll turn it around. That's you at a concentration camp.
I'll turn this around. Yeah. This is. I
Honey,
feel like
I hate to break the news to you, but those were the prettiest of boys.
What?
That got that special pass.
I'm not saying they would have raped me. I'm saying I would.
They were blonde. Yeah. No, you're a handsome guy, but it's like you weren't Hitler's type.
No, that's not.
You would
I don't
not
think
have
they would
made
have
the
wanted
cut.
to fuck me. I'm saying maybe I would have had so much entertainment talent that I could have been like funny for them.
No,
And they
because
would-
think of Roberto Benigni in Life is Beautiful. He's pretty funny in that movie.
Right,
but
that's true.
He died in front of his kid.
but that
That was crazy.
but that was fiction.
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
talking about reality.
Yeah.
Me in a concentration camp
I'd be
doing
toast.
a set. You're done.
Oh my God. I was like,
Well,
God.
you know, like the cobblers or the tinkerers, they'd be like, "Oh, you can repair silver jewelry. Come with me," and then they would like survive in that way. You don't think there's any like I thought about that.
Jeez.
Like if I went to prison, what would you do in prison to survive?
jeez, I don't have a game plan. I haven't thought that far ahead for the. I just remember reading like Elie Wiesel Night, and they were like, yeah, they made us run for like 20 something miles.
You're like,
I'm like 20 minutes on the elliptical and I'm out. I'd be fucking toast. I'm dead.
Yeah, would I eat some like worm pussy?
Worm pussy,
I don't know, like some like old
like German woman.
whoever was like in charge of the
Wait.
lesbian like gang in the prison. Like I would probably try to like
Oh, I got you.
saddle up to her.
I still was in the concentration camp, and I was like, "There's a lesbian
No.
gang in
Oh,
Auschwitz."
in the prison? Yeah, I mean, I don't. They always say like there's that scene in 25th Hour where he's like beat the shit out of me, and I'm like, I think you're still gonna be in trouble in prison. I don't think that's the solution.
I do have a game plan.
Yeah.
I'm the letter writer. I go up to all the guys. I go, "Hey, is your lady? Does your old lady miss you?" I'm a published author. I made some embezzlement mistakes.
Cash her in the rye.
Cash her in the rye. I'm sure you've heard of it, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
I say to the prison gang leader,
Yeah.
I'll write your girl the most beautiful love letter, and she won't be able to stop thinking of you. And then I'd start to build cachet in that way, and then then I'd get a reputation, and my reputation would be I would be good.
This sounds like an art house movie right here. This is beautiful.
Wait, Sam, I have a question for
Yeah.
you. So your podcast is Games with Names, and it's about sports. Why should I like sports?
You'll hate this podcast. It's not for you. I have another one with Mark Norman called "We Might Be Drunk," where you guys got to come on. We get drunk. It's really fun. It's really we
No,
get a
but-
bartender. This one is with Julian Edelman from the. Speaking of like Jews that could have survived the Holocaust, Julian Edelman is shredded. He's Brad Pitt, like
Okay.
Inglourious Bastards. I'm like Sam Levine.
No, you would have
body
been
type.
You would have been more likely because
No, you guys would have like you would have gotten to some level.
No, I think you would have been more likely than Julian. I don't know him, but I'm guessing.
No, because he's blonde and he's hot and he's shredded.
That's why they would have taken him down first. They would have seen him and go, "You think you're special? You think you Uberman? You come here." And then a little scrawny Nazi would have taken him down. You know the most disturbing quote I ever heard about the Holocaust? You ever read Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl? It's hard to read, but there's this crazy line that I haven't been able to forget. He said something to the effect of like, the reality that all Holocaust survivors have to live with is that the best of us didn't make it out of the concentration camps. That in order to survive the concentration camps, you had to be so brutal and cutthroat. Everybody that was like a kind person giving bread to their neighbor or helping an old lady were fucking gone.
What a neg to the survivors.
well,
what a little shot.
He was a survivor himself, so I guess he had the right. Yeah. Anyway,
Damn, that's crazy.
it was very disturbing. It's
Okay, well, can we switch the
just-
subject?
let's talk about sports. Sorry.
Well,
No,
yeah.
I just thought, Sam, someone you seem like a sensitive guy in a way. Like,
I
tell
listen
me,
to Leonard Cohen.
yeah, like what is the appeal to like someone who's never been? And you care about sports enough that you have a podcast about it. So just explain to me what gets you excited about it.
Well, I'm a diehard Knicks fan. It's being a Knicks fan. Just
Is that baseball?
that's basketball. It's
Okay.
just the torture of being a Knicks fan has been like it just keeps me going. Like
New
there's-
York Knicks.
Yeah.
So it's like part of like it's like from your childhood.
my childhood.
Okay, that makes sense.
They haven't won since 1973. So
Oh, and so
I've-
you guys are like trying for that to
Wait,
happen.
they weren't good in the 80s with
no,
like
the 90s
Patrick
they were
Ewing or
90s they
something?
were good, but
Yeah.
they didn't win
They
because of
didn't win.
Jordan.
So part of the love of sports is following a team that like means something to you,
course.
and like then you can like hope that they'll win. No, I get
You
it
literally
now.
sound like a person having food described to them. So part of food is it tastes good and you're not hungry
No, but
after?
I never understood it. But if someone had a podcast, they really care about sports.
Yeah, well, it's not about winning. It's about learning to lose graciously, and that's life.
nice.
That's life. So the Yankees and the Giants were good in my childhood, so I kind of was like, I'm good. But the Knicks, it's always like you're searching for that, and I don't even care about winning the championship. Just be good again. That's all I really need. And I like sports history. Like I like that you need to. You're like one of many. You need to come together to make things work. I kind of like that, and everything has to align. And we get these guests on that are like the first episode's Eli Manning, and I'm like, I have no business interviewing Eli Manning. This is so stupid, but it's a cool show.
I used to on the Champs, we would interview basketball players a lot, and my superpower was that I truly didn't know who any of them were. So it was a different kind of interview than
That's a bad superpower.
Well, I'm just saying, like, there was Neil did. So Neil would be talking about basketball with them. But I felt like no one had ever interviewed these people from the perspective of just being like, so who are you? What is this game? Tell me more.
Well, listen, the point is I missed it as a hobby. I'm not interested in it aesthetically, so I miss out. But it is so much a part of the culture that sometimes I feel very left out. So thank you for explaining that to me.
No, it's great. And like, Bill Burr's got the bit. You women have to support the WNBA because I'll watch games. Women don't watch games. That's why they're not making shit money.
I mean, I wouldn't want to see women playing sports either. I don't like any of it.
I watch women's fighting a lot. I like watching women's.
That is actually entertaining.
That's fun. They're fun. They're fun because they're brutal and they usually don't knock each other out. So it just goes forever and it becomes really vicious and awful.
Yeah, it's hard to watch.
I'd watch if they called each other names too, but
oh, that would be good if there was like barbs.
Yeah,
that would be great.
Ultimate Barb Championship. Are you excited for your life to change with this new special?
I don't know, man. I don't think anything's gonna change. I think it's the same. I'm like, you want to see my fall tour schedule? I'm doing Fort Wayne, Indiana on Thanksgiving. How much could it really change?
Sam, don't do that.
Dude, this special, I predict something for you. This special comes out, you'll be doing Indianapolis by next fall.
I don't know if I'm ready, dude.
I don't think you're ready either, but you know what? It's like when the student is ready, the master appears, or something like that.
Don't
do
that makes sense at all?
What?
I'm doing Friday and Saturday. I'm not doing Thursday.
Okay.
Oh, I've done a weekend. I've done a Thanksgiving
Thursday.
It's you've done a Thanksgiving show on Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Oh,
St. Louis.
Who comes?
Some families will come, like they eat and then they come.
I would do that. Is that that was the
we
funny
see
one?
Movies on Thanksgiving. Yeah, the St. Louis Funny Bone.
Did
they have
it in
smoking
Vegas.
when you went? That was the last smoking nightclub, comedy club in America. And when I was there last, there was an NRA convention and a Jimmy Buffett convention in my hotel, and it just felt like the most just St. Louis shit that I had ever experienced in my life.
We did it once in Las Vegas, right?
Thanksgiving?
Yeah, or I did.
I don't think I did.
I think that was somebody else, but yes.
I like doing a Christmas show.
That's the best way to celebrate Thanksgiving is Vegas, because that's how you pay tribute to the native. You lose everything.
Firewater and you lose everything.
Yeah, you just lose it all.
So you're on the road all the time. Yeah. Any highlights of cities that you've been in?
Let's see. I mean, I've been everywhere. I mean, Florida's been. I have a love-hate relationship with Florida.
The weather's so amazing.
Yeah,
it's hard to not feel like you're like in an amazing.
Florida's secret good.
Yeah,
I feel like
it depends.
It's also.
I feel like Orlando is like very publicly bad.
No,
Orlando
it's open bad. It's also open bad, but it's also secret good. Like
Miami's awesome.
Miami's so cool, and the whole
so beautiful. All that Art Deco and the murals.
And if you're a cocaine guy, which I hardcore am, I'm addicted to it. It's perfect. It's a great place.
I had to do a show in Orlando, and I called down to the front desk and I said, "Excuse me, can you tell me which way is to the beach?" And they just laughed. Like, it was landlocked. Because I took the gig because I was like, everywhere in Florida is on the water. You're just like in some weird, like that part of the state would suck.
What's the most Florida shit that happened to you?
I've had so many. I mean, I remember, God, Naples, Florida was the worst weekend of my career for sure. That was really bad. I remember just like bombing every show. Like,
is that the Hawaiian Brian's?
No, Captain Brian's.
Captain Brian's off the hook.
Oh man, he makes you do Facebook. You're doing morning press, and he would make you do like Facebook lives in between so when you take a breather in between these horrible morning shows, he'd be like, "All right, we're doing a live," and like, by the way, it's Facebook. The only person who saw it was my mom.
No,
like,
you
no one follows
could
me
get
on
like
Facebook.
The worst.
You could get addicted to cocaine doing a gig like that. Like, wait, can I just say one thing? What's his name? Off the hook.
The captain.
I just remember people had like bibs and were eating lobster for the first time, like while I was doing my set. Like, that is not good for your like morale.
It's also not good when
morale. It's not good for your morale.
Well, you don't want to smell really delicious food while you're performing. It's
or
also
any
a
kind of
mindfuck.
fish.
Any fish. Tampa's been weirdly good to me. I'd go to Side Splitters all the time in Tampa, and this guy Bobby Jewell used to run the club. Do you know that guy?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God, he was
I wouldn't
like,
play Side Splitters just because of the name, though.
yeah. Well, come see me at Magooby's Joke House next year.
Right. She's like, I would
'cause,
never play. I would never debase myself to play a Side Splitters. Now, when I was at Captain Brian's Off the Hook Comedy Club,
when I was at Tito's Chuckle Hut,
I went to. There was a chain of clubs in Florida that I once looked up called Coconuts. Have you heard of this?
Coconuts.
Poconuts is what it's called.
Coconuts.
The last time I looked, I'm sure it's
You
great.
wish it was coconuts.
What's Poconuts mean?
I don't know.
It's probably in the Poconos.
Anyway, no, it was in Florida, and I looked it up, and not only had I never heard of any of the headliners, I had never heard of their credits. I didn't know the reference. I had never heard of the things they were referencing. It was crazy. It would be like late night with Darius Johnson. It's just like, who are we talking
here's
about?
the thing, Side Splitters, I'll do it. I'm coming.
It's good. It's a good club.
But just name it something else. Just like change the name.
That's what your counter
well,
will be
it's like
when they make
80s,
an offer?
It's kind of like a remnant of like a different time.
Oh, the guy who would pick you up for that gig, it was this guy Bobby Jewell, and he doesn't own it anymore, but he was so entertaining. He was such an alcoholic. He was like 58, hairpiece, dressed like Charlie Sheen on 2.5 Men, those shirts, pinky ring, picks you up in a convertible, blasting Jersey Boy shit face, just singing like "Big Girls Don't Cry." He's swerving over the road. I'm like, am I gonna die in this? So then he would. I remember Dina Hashem was opening for me there one week. I don't know if you know her. She's super funny.
Very funny.
And we're and I was like, you got to meet this guy. He's out of his mind. And she was like loving it. She was like, this is insane. He said, I'm cooking you guys steaks tonight. So like, all right, we go to his apartment. It's like the model home. You know when you see a home and you're like, this is the model setup. He didn't change anything.
That's just a home in Florida. I feel like.
And except for like, he has a shitload of, he's one of those dudes that has like every sports memorabilia
Wait,
thing.
walk me through why you're ending up at his house.
He's been cooking them steaks.
I played there since I was like a feature. I played there forever.
And so he's like, come on over. I'm going to cook for you. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And
No, it
there's
was
nothing
nice.
else going on. You're having fun.
Exactly. He's got a nice place. He's like
I
cooking
think
his
of it as a
steaks.
woman. So I'm like, I probably wouldn't go to
Well,
his
I'm
house.
there too, so it's not
Right,
as
right,
weird.
right.
But yeah, he's cooking us steaks. He's like all these nice sides. He's like pouring us wine, and it was so pleasant. And then of course at like 11 p.m. he shows up at the club stumbling, and he just gets in my face. He's like, "I fucking cooked for you," and I'm like, "You invited me over. What does that mean?"
Did you ever play at the Milwaukee Comedy Cafe?
Of course.
Did you ever play there? Did you ever have the pleasure?
I don't. What's the really great place to play in Milwaukee?
Oh, I don't know.
Jeez.
I don't know.
There's
The-
I'm thinking Madison.
The theater, yeah. There's a theater.
Oh, I
there
was
that's
thinking
nice.
of Madison.
Yeah, Comedy on Stage is classic.
That's what I was thinking.
I did the Comedy Cafe.
But
and
45 minutes from my hometown is Milwaukee, so I know the vibe.
Well, that place used to be mob run. The last time I played, they were in a transition phase from their mob years to their new user-friendly situation, but they still had the bouncer and handler from the mob days. And so he didn't really know how to interact. I was with me, and he would scream at me to get off stage at minute 45. I mean, 45, like, do not go over 45. And I would say, it's not really
Why does he care?
because he's like used to a different time when I heard they used
when it's like casino run, but it's not a casino.
well, I heard they used to pay people with a gun on a stack of cash, and they would move the gun and count out.
That's kind of cool if it happens once in your career. You don't want that to be like the regular thing, but if it happened once, you're like, that's kind of.
Do you know every club in America used to be mob run in like in I don't know, the 20s or the 30s?
I bet they were run better.
They probably were. People said they had a good time. There was a guy. I heard this is a crazy story. There was a guy. He was playing at one mob club, and he made the fateful mistake of driving across town to play at another mob club that was run by Al Capone. And they attacked him in his hotel room that night, and they cut his neck.
Oh, I laughed too soon at this story.
They cut his
I laughed at the wrong part.
They cut his vocal
This
cords.
does not seem real.
I swear to God, this is a true story. They cut his vocal cords. He was in the hospital for a long time, and he didn't snitch. So when he got out of the hospital, they were like, come on back. And he became a big famous headliner with this crazy raspy voice because he had kept his fucking mouth shut. I just miss those days of comedy, you know?
And what was his name?
I could find it. It's in this great book called The Comedians by Cliff Nesteroff. But I heard
it's a great book.
It's really good.
Eric Goldman was telling me to read that the other day. That is crazy. Yeah, I mean, some of those clubs, I remember doing the Milwaukee Comedy Cafe, and I was wearing a Knicks sweatshirt. This is my Knicks fandom. And they say, Latrell Sprewell, who was like the Knicks star when I was growing up.
I've heard of him.
Yeah.
Because I remember kept calling him Lateral. Because I was trying to hang out with my friends, and I was like, oh, look at what Lateral just did. And everyone, explained to me.
He's famous for choking his coach in the 90s, got traded to the Knicks. Like, we picked up a guy who choked his coach, and it worked out, which is crazy. But they say he drinks at this bar every night. And I was like, not every night. They were like, every night. So I was like, we're going to the bar. So we go to the bar, we're hanging out, and he fucking walks in. And I was like, that's Sprewell. And I'm like a young, like excited kid. Like, you remember all the shit he did when you were a child? And I'm like, I'm going to go up to him. They're like, he drinks Honey Jack. And I was like, I'll buy him a Honey Jack. I go over to him like, hey, man, I'm a huge fan of yours. And he goes, okay.
Oh.
And I was like, can I get you a drink? He goes, I already have a drink.
Oh.
And then I was like, I don't know what to say. I'm like panicking. I'm like, I'm playing the comedy club down the block. If you want to come at some point, he goes, don't count on it. And I was like, Jesus, all right.
Damn.
And then I go back to the group I was with, and they were like, that was rough. And this one guy was like, I work for Bleacher Report. I'll handle this. Like, he thought he could like get in with Sprewell, and he goes over, and it went way worse. Like, Spree was like, fuck you, get out of my face. And I was like, well, I got off easy. So the next night, the bartender from that bar is at my show, and she's really nice. She's like a really attractive, nice person, and we're talking after the show, and she goes, yeah, I'm texting Sprewell about you right now. And I was like, what? She goes, yeah, like, look, I said, I'm with the comedian from last night. It was actually a really funny show. And he wrote back, oh yeah, I met him last night. Great guy.
No.
Don't count on it.
Don't count on it. Hurt me to my core.
You know what, though? These people, like Jerry Seinfeld, like anyone who has people in their face all day long, like you can't leave the house without 50 people getting in your face.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'm like, I give him a pass.
Totally. I actually had a sports show years later, and he was a guest, and he was nice.
I did a scene once that got cut with Kiefer Sutherland. Kiefer.
Yeah.
And he was so. I mean, I have so many stories about him because he was the weirdest, rudest person
really
I've ever.
rude.
Well, I mean, in a weird way. This is what happened. We were in a scene where we were off camera, and we were delivering lines to. I wasn't even talking. I was like an extra, and he was delivering lines to Owen Wilson, and it was the Zoolander 2 movie. So Owen Wilson and Ben Stiller.
Did they make that?
Yeah.
That was released.
It was released.
That's fucking crazy. How did I never hear of that?
No comment. But
damn.
Yeah.
Maybe you were doing something 7 years ago.
I did punch up on the movie. I was there for the whole thing. And it was crazy. I met like so many weird people, but Kiefer was definitely a highlight. He had, for one thing he did is he had someone fly him in a Whopper, drive into, it was in Rome.
A Whopper?
It was in Rome. We're in Rome, Italy. And we're an hour outside of Rome, and at this place called Cinque Terre, the famous movie studio. He had a PA drive into central Rome to find Burger King and bring him a Whopper.
Wait, why is that bad? If they're like, do you want something to eat? He's like, yeah, I'll have a Whopper.
You're in Rome.
It is a weird order.
You're in Rome.
So that's what he feels
remember-
like.
Sounds like a Patriot.
Oh,
to
he
me.
should like.
He's Canadian.
It wasn't about how far it was.
I think so.
It was about.
It was.
getting
I need a Whopper. No ketchup, no onions, no pickles, bread, meat, cheese. That was his order. A lot of different stuff. But anyway,
That's not a Whopper, by the way. It's a burger.
yeah. Well,
The Whopper is the whole
is
thing.
the stuff? I
Yeah.
thought it was just how big it is.
No, it's the sauce. It's the extra
everything,
bread.
yeah.
Anyway, he's delivering this line,
Pickles.
and he tells me, and the character is supposed to leave the room. We're not on camera.
Yeah.
And he tells me, he like whispers in my ear. He goes, "When I deliver my line, you turn around and you walk out of the room." And I was like I'm not like much of an actor, but I've never.
So intense. Like that energy is so intense.
I've never.
That's what makes him good.
I know he was
He's
great.
an intense
He was a
maybe
good
he
actor.
was just
24
amping
was
himself up.
awesome.
He's
back in the day.
amazing,
Yeah,
but
that was-
he's so weird and unhinged. And I go, okay, in my mind, I'm like, I've never heard of people doing the action while you're not even being filmed. But I'm like, what am I going to say no to Kiefer Sutherland? I go, oh, okay.
He was just getting into character.
Well, anyway, he delivers his line. I turn around. He's whispering in my ear, hurry up. And he's jabbing me in the back, like literally like poking me.
Oh my
and I'm
God.
like trying to run
Oh, he
faster.
touched you?
Yeah, he was like jabbing me in the back, hurting me. And he
Oh my God.
And then he was so like cold and distant and unpleasant. And then at the end, when we wrapped for the day, he was like, It was just such a pleasure to work with you. You were amazing. Thanks so much. It was like the weirdest.
How much of it do you think was him getting into the character?
It could be.
Because I have seen, like, when I've been around some really good actors, I see they kind of go into a zone, or try to talk themselves into their character.
Well,
I think it's smart.
Maybe that's Luttrell when he's getting ready for his honey jack session.
Yeah, but that was that famous Dustin Hoffman, Laurence Olivier story where Hoffman's like, I was up, for this torture scene. I was up for like 2 days to prep, and he was like, yeah, my dear son, have you heard of acting?
Yeah.
That's the line where you're like, all right. I mean, I respect it if you take your shit seriously, but at the same time, like, calm down.
It totally depends. But real talk, it depends on your process. Because I do think that, like,
she's the real actor of the three of us.
No, I'm just saying, like, you can't. Everyone needs something different. Like, Moshe always gets mad at me in the green room when we do shows together because he's like, "Come on, get up, get excited." I'm like, that's not. I want to shut down until I'm on stage, and he's he's got like energy going,
squats and shadow boxing, and I do.
But
like
everybody
I
has
tell a
their
comic's
own.
good if they're doing push-ups.
They're all.
Before they go on stage.
That's a good sign, right?
Yeah.
People really respect that.
He did planks. He must be funny.
Okay, Moshe, we have callers waiting.
Okay, we do have some calls. Sam, you stick around and give us some advice. But check out Sam's special on Netflix right now. This time?
Same time tomorrow.
Same time tomorrow, honey.
Same time tomorrow on
with
Netflix.
With Sam Morril.
Thank you.
Same time tomorrow with Sam Morril.
All right. Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Mosh.
You know what I like?
What?
I like it to cook.
You're such a good cook. I wanted to buy you an apron and a little whisk to wear around your neck because you're so good at sauces.
Oh, that's sweet. But you know what I don't like?
What?
I don't like it to clean.
I hear you.
And that's why these Caraway pots and pans that we use, they're so dope looking, but also they're the easiest to clean pan I have ever used in my life.
As the cleaner of the house, I would agree.
And I say to myself, this is so easy to clean, it must have crazy harsh chemicals that will leach into the food, mustn't it?
Absolutely not. Caraway Home's non-toxic kitchenwares are all designed for the modern home and feature a chemical-free ceramic coating, so food can be prepared with peace of mind that no hard-to-pronounce compound will leach into your healthy ingredients.
Here's the other thing. I'm a cook. That's what I do. I like to cook. I don't bake. But there's so many great bakers out there, especially during the pandemic. People learned how to do that. They not only have the cookware set, which is the frying pan, saute pan, saucepan, and Dutch oven combo. They've got this thing called the bakeware set, which is an assortment of non-toxic baking essentials that every modern kitchen needs, so you can get to baking goods without any of the bads.
Visit carawayhome.com/honeymoon to take advantage of this limited time offer for 10% off your next purchase. This deal is exclusive for our listeners, so visit carawayhome.com/honeymoon or use code honeymoon at checkout. Get your forever pans today. Caraway, non-toxic cookware made modern.
First, we are going to call Angelica in Rome. How could it be?
How did you know we were going to talk about Rome?
What a weird coincidence.
Oh, you're going to miss it. It was so beautiful there.
There was another great thing that he did the last night of filming. It was like, we were going way over. You're going to love this story, Angelica. This is a Rome story. And while I tell it, you can adjust your camera so we can see you. You're sideways.
Okay.
Can you? So it's the last night of filming. We're like 4 hours overtime. So it's like 2:30 in the morning. Every single person in the movie is there. The whole crew. It's the final scene of the entire film. And the sound, they're trying to get it wrapped. They're trying to finish. And this like Italian, poor, like sweet Italian sound guy is like sweating, rushing back and forth. And he like lightly grazes Kiefer's shoulder as he's walking by. And Kiefer turns to him and grabs him and goes, "Don't push me, brother. I'll go south on you real quick." And the guy's like, "I don't know."
Okay, then that makes me think that's not his acting process.
Who knows?
No, he might be not. Do you ever hear the Todd Barry joke about how it's like one of my favorite jokes is when he would they shut down a whole block for a movie and they're like, "No deliveries," and he's like, "Oh yeah, sure. Hey CVS, cancel my heart medication." it's the Kiefer Sutherland comeback. That's such a great Todd bit.
Todd
I
is
love
the best.
Todd.
Angelica, you're the best too. How are you? Thank you for joining us.
Are you smoking a cigarette?
Of course, she's in Rome.
So Italian.
Hell yeah.
Wait, we can't hear her. She is just sitting here in a room with no visible windows, smoking a cigarette.
Barely understands the internet.
Looking gorgeous.
Yeah,
just
she's pretty. Look at it.
Wi-Fi just got to Rome last week. This is beautiful.
I'm just a bit nervous, so I'm like, okay, let me smoke a cigarette really quickly.
Are you in fact Italian from Rome, Angelica?
from California.
Oh, okay. Well, that kind of is a disappointment.
And what
but-
are you doing in Rome, honey?
Yeah, so should I just ask my question?
Okay,
or-
fine. Yeah, we don't
Well,
have
we
to
want to know what brings you to Rome.
Oh, what brings me to Rome? I came to Rome like 3 years ago to do my studies. And yeah, it brought me here and did a lot of traveling and shit. I'm so nervous, guys. I'm such a huge fan of everyone. So
Oh.
I'm like,
Thank you. Well, how about we make fun of you for a while, and then it'll kind of make your nerves go down.
All right, I think she's like gearing up to ask her question,
All right,
you guys. I know you're
Angelica.
trying to like corner her because she's so attractive, but
Well,
you know.
Sam, are you single?
I am, yeah.
Angelica, Sam's single. If you want to direct your question
If
to
you want to
him,
do an awful long distance Zoom thing where we can't hear each other, that would be fun.
that would be amazing.
okay,
Yeah.
Angelica, what's up? How can we help?
Yeah, so basically, okay, my question is is a little bit vague. It's kind of like, how do you,
How do you have a fake Italian accent? Like you are from California. She's just like, how do you say?
the question for me. How do you make the perfect amatriciana? Do you add? It is American bacon is what I'm used to, but I come, now I'm Italian.
I have a question for you. Do you think you're better than us with that accent? Because
oh no. The funny thing is that I went to Trader Joe's in California a few years ago, and this guy asked me if I was from Germany because my accent changed so much.
you're a
Wait, so-
shapeshifter is what you're saying.
So wait,
Okay.
you legitimately had a California accent before you got to Italy, and now this is like a new affectation. Is that correct?
I don't know. I think I have to have surgery on my tongue, actually. 'Cause
Whoa.
I have short
You sound like a
tongue.
crazy gal, if you ask me.
Yeah, Sam's getting turned on, Angelica. I don't know if that was what you were getting
Tongue
at.
surgery.
Okay, you guys,
I've never heard of that. What is?
stop it. Let's hear Angelica's question.
No, this is the two great spheres of turn-ons for Jews. Was like somebody with a freaky situation and also medical stuff.
Some medical stuff. We got some medical stuff.
All right, go
But,
ahead.
I heard cigarettes is really good for a bad tongue, so it's good you're doing that.
Yeah, so I guess my question is, how do you, I have an ex who, first of all, I have a question of like, what really like defines an ex? Like, how do you kind of move on from someone? And also another kind of like follow-up question to that is, like, what is like when your ex tries to be your friend, how do you like kind of move on from that? I guess.
Like you don't
My-
want to be the friend, you mean?
It's just that I've been seeing this guy for like 3 years on and off. And every time we break up, he always says like, oh, it's not the last time and we'll see each other again and like yada, yada, yada.
He's stringing you along. You still kind of like him in that way, but he wants to keep his options open. And I think that needs to be, I think there's a lot of different versions of it. I think two people could be friends very easily, but it sounds like the level of which you guys are at, you kind of would still want more. And when he doesn't have more, he comes to you, and then you just become,
Whatever he
his
wants you to
second
be.
choice all the time.
Which
And-
we don't
which doesn't
understand.
seem healthy for you.
I don't like that either. When you're like, oh, whoa, this isn't over. It sounds like a threat. That's like I don't care. I also don't like when I had to go and say to me like, well, maybe in another life. I'm like, that's not a thing. What are we gonna fuck as caterpillars? Like, what do you? It's over. Just you can't be friends with an ex, and maybe down the road you can, but not at first.
Especially when you like, if you both fall out of like, any kind of sexual attraction, then maybe. But if you still have like a sexual attraction to them, I don't think you can be friends yet.
The truth is, I have girlfriends, and I do not once in a while end up fucking them again for 6 months.
But that's because you're married.
No, but I'm just
You
saying,
would maybe if you were single.
No, I had other people in my life that were friends that then became sexual. But my point is, if you're in a relationship with somebody and they're like, we can be friends now, it's like, that's not really a friendship. I have friends. My friends are people I hang out with and do friendship with. I have lovers. That's a different thing. But this whole like manipulation where it's we could be friends, but really then they just kind of stick around until you guys get back together. That's not a friendship. That's just a guy that's holding you in stasis for so he can fuck you some more.
You need to spend some time alone. You need to make the list of what you want in a partner, what your bottom line is, like what are your non-negotiables and what would be nice. And you need to start like thinking about that. And I bet you if you looked at them all, of the things that you really want from a relationship, he probably wouldn't include that many. Because don't you want to be cherished, and don't you want to be like desired, and don't you want to be prioritized? Like all of the things that you may want as a person, does he fill those? And that's why it's like spending a little bit of time, and maybe just take 2 months to begin with. And next time he calls you, just be like, I'm just on a little break. And just say, respect me, and just don't contact me for 2 months. But then you really can't contact him.
But what would you do if you saw her list of things she wanted and there was only one item and it said tongue fused? Just solid tongue.
It's also you ever just ask for advice from people and then you're like, I just wanted to like talk. I'm not gonna listen to any of this stuff. I just wanted to talk to someone.
Oh, you think that's what's happening right now?
I don't know. I mean, if you're asking about this guy, maybe you still like him. So maybe you have to let it run its course too. I don't know. Like I don't think it doesn't sound like you should go back to him, but it sounds like you might want to a little bit.
I think that I just didn't. I put a very like vague question because the backstory is like 3 years long, and it's like nobody has the time
spare
for
us.
Is he Italian?
No, he's Egyptian.
And he's in Italy?
Yeah, he's been in Italy, like coming in and out. Every time he goes back to Egypt, we break up.
Oh, he's married. He's married. He's married. He's
just a Tinder swindler. Yeah. You got a jet.
Yeah.
He's going to take you for everything. Be careful.
He's like, this isn't over. Because
whatever the details are, he's holding out for something else that isn't you. And if it were me, I would want unless that's what you're into. These boys might be into that at some point.
We're very into that, right?
But that's that's like, some people or some women, but it sounds like you're at a place where you want something a little more and you have history with this person. So he's like sucking your lifeblood, like it's like now it's like 3 years going, it's like you need to move on.
The thing is that like I actually don't really want anything that serious either. Ooh. That's why I'm kind of like,
I was right.
Plot twist.
Yeah, that's why I'm not really sure of like, should I cut him off like completely and like forget about everything? Or should I try to, I don't know, like be friends from a distance? I'm moving to Barcelona. He's going back to Egypt. Maybe we'll reconnect. Maybe.
See, you're in this long distance relationship. Like that's a very unique thing.
Well, my experience with long distance relationships is that they're like the girl that said, let's be together in another life. They're based on a complete mythological fake reality, which is, we can have intimacy when we're together, and then you'll go back to your wife in Cairo, and then you'll come back and we'll have another great. It's all based on like fake. Like to me, you're like, I'm not looking for anything serious. Yeah, but are you looking for something not serious where the guy strings you along and makes you wonder if he really likes you or not? Is that the kind of not serious you want? Or are you looking for a not serious where like everybody's getting their needs met and it feels respectful all the time? Like this isn't over yet. I mean, what a fucking psychotic.
I don't like him.
It's very Italian though. It's like, we're not over yet. I'll be back. It's just like, it just doesn't feel like respectful.
He sounds like Polly Walnuts, is what I'm trying to say.
That's right. I just feel like you could find a better casual situation than a guy that disappears internationally every quarter.
Also, I mean, who's not swiping on her?
I know. We're
no
all
offense,
attracted
but like,
to you.
I don't mean to objectify you, but like, it'd be
objectify away. We're here for it.
It just seems impossible.
Sam, what do you think?
I just think like, for if you're not looking for something serious, you're not looking for something serious. But I've never seen a long distance thing. You need like an end date where you both move to the same place, or it's kind of like you're stringing each other along. You can't be with someone where every time you fuck you have to go through airport security. That's insane. That's insanely unhealthy to me. I've done long distance a bunch. It's very difficult.
Don't you feel, Sam, that it was always based on, well, for me, all my long distance relationships were about me being afraid to be in a real relationship. Yes. And I could have like all the trappings, all the emotional trappings of a relationship where I go, I miss you so bad. I want to be with you so much, but I only have to see him every 2 months. And I never had to do any actual work in a relationship.
Yearning is hot. But I've done it where I wanted to make it work also. It's just that, sometimes it just doesn't work. It's very hard. And also if that person's moving for you, then that's all right. Now you got to like make him love Barcelona or wherever you are, and now there's like this added pressure, and you're starting at a deficit. So I think it's you got to both be all in at a neutral place.
And also back to my
Monaco.
Monaco would be amazing. If you guys meet in Monaco, disregard any of my other advice. But I just think that spending, what's going to make you happy? What do you need? What do you want? I think these are all really important things. He's not like your rock, And so it's like, you just have to know that. So whatever you're getting from him, because clearly you're getting something good. And I'm sure it's like a mixture of sex and friendship and whatever, but like, just make sure that what you need, you're getting from your life, I guess. And maybe, sometimes if you break something off, this is why I think it's good to take a little bit of a break, is it kind of opens you up to something that might be something you wouldn't need to call in smoking to a podcast. Because it's like, clearly this isn't like chill. You're not like enjoying it. You're calling us and you're nervous and you're smoking and
it's
you're stressed and you want answers.
It's a little like drugs. It's like, I like it and I'm going to probably do it again, but I know I need to quit. But someday I'll probably do it again until it's kind of like smoking, actually.
He's the cigarette.
He's the cigarette.
He's your addiction.
He's bad for you, but you like it.
That's right. It makes you feel good, even though you know that it's slowly killing you inside.
Yeah.
I think the thing that's a little bit difficult for me is that, like, he has been there for me in a lot of ways, especially recently. Like, for example, like in December, I got hit by a car when I was literally driving Motorino in front of the Vatican. If you can believe it, it's the most Italian thing ever.
It's one of the less bad things that's happened in the Vatican. If you think about it.
I'm sorry though.
That's sweet.
You were driving a car?
Motorino, like
wow.
Vespa.
Okay, see, but again, that's why like New York, Rome, I would never drive. I would never do something like that.
So, okay, so you got hit
we're
by
not going to help you anymore. We're just going to tell you what we would not do and that your life choices are
But
toxic.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
So you got
I want to be the woman who drives a Vespa around the Vatican.
You definitely look like the woman who drives a Vespa around the Vatican.
True.
You couldn't look more like it right now.
I'll just wear the clothes, but I don't want to do. I'll do it like in the countryside.
So you got hit by a car, and then what? Did he sent like some hummus?
No, he came back from Egypt to see me and stuff.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to do that. And then I had my surgery here, like another surgery, like 1 month ago. And he let me stay in this apartment for like the past 3 months. Like,
the one you're in now?
Yeah.
Wait, we're talking shit about this guy while you are freeloading his apartment in the I feel bad.
He sounds great. Disregard everything we've said.
Yeah, he seems cool.
I didn't know you had free rent, honey.
Yeah, what a nice guy.
Yeah, this was very misleading.
Why does he keep going to Egypt? What's there?
So basically, he is trying to get his citizenship here. And so in order to do that, you have to have like a property or be living here for like 10 years. And so he bought this apartment. And he's going back to Egypt because his life is in Egypt.
So do you guys shack up when he comes? Like, or you guys have sex when he comes back?
The first time we broke up, I was like, okay, we're done. Like, it's done. And then he's like, oh, you never know. I'm like, okay. And he comes back like, okay.
It's like the New York City Lotto. That was their saying. You never know. What are your odds though when you say you never know? Jeez.
So then what?
Yeah. So every time we see each other, it's like, no time has passed. Same old, everything the same.
Does that include sex?
Of course.
Okay. So you have sex with him when he comes here. And does he share with you any details of his life back home?
Of course, like everything. His family, sisters.
Does he have a girlfriend there?
No, but I asked him. We talk about it. Like,
hey, well, if he said no, you have to believe him.
I mean, I'll be honest, Angelica. I'm not getting the vibe from you when you talk about him. I'm not getting an I'm not looking for anything serious vibe. I'm getting a I'm trying to pretend I'm not looking for anything serious because I'm really in love with this guy vibe. That's the strong energy that I'm getting from you right now.
And at the very least, you must like the lifestyle. Staying in his apartment, only having to hang out with him half the month. Sounds nice.
It's gotten pretty comfortable, a little bit too comfortable, where I'm just like, I need my own life. Like, I didn't want to be here anymore. Like, I'm going to Barcelona. Like, that's why that's why when I leave now, I don't know if I should keep in contact with him or if I should do like a clean, like done.
All right, we're going to do a vote. Sam, clean, done, or not?
I would say go clean, done, but then, you know, give it like at least 3 months. And if you're like, I made the right choice,
Ooh,
right?
I like
but then
that.
if you know, if it's meant to be in 3 months, maybe say, I fucked up.
Yeah.
No, but she needs that apartment.
No, she's going to Barcelona. She's going to Barcelona.
Okay.
So she's going to leave the apartment behind. Natasha, what's your vote?
What's that? Oh, you got your
Oh,
suitcase
she's
packed.
literally packed, ready to go.
Listen, I think time alone where you block out certain energy is very good for your morale, constitution, spirit. I think it's like it's very healing. And I think that committing to yourself and making a change is sometimes, and it doesn't have to be, and you don't and sometimes it's just to like realize you're a people person or realize that you always say sorry or I don't know, just spending time alone. Like I think, and you seem like a traveler, and I don't know, it's almost like you're closing off to like let something else come through you, you know, and you don't have to tell him that. You can just say like, you know, I'm just going to take a couple months, like a couple weeks, whatever you feel comfortable doing. But I think that, you know, and you have to really know that you don't need him, because if you need him to bail, you know, if you're prone to accidents.
I am with you. I vote done. You're going to Barcelona. You're on an adventure. You're clearly an adventurous person. You're a traveler. Why would you want to bring this memory that is almost a relationship, but really it really isn't, on this adventure with you? Why would you give him space in a whole other country?
Okay. You're great. That's a great answer.
You're great too, honey.
No, but can you just give her, because you're really good at this, what should she say to him though that isn't all that? So she doesn't have to be like that, like tell him her dreams and have him shit in them.
This one's so simple. I'm going to Barcelona and I'm going to just take some time to myself, and I probably won't keep in touch, but I'll hit you up if I want to reconnect in the future. I mean, it's very simple.
And then say, because you never know.
Yeah, you never know, baby girl.
And then say, maybe in another life.
Yeah, maybe as a caterpillar.
You never know.
All right, Angelica, good luck.
Are you going to do it?
No, she's not. She's clearly not.
No, the thing is that we already had that conversation and we already are like, okay, we're not going to see each other anymore. But then the last text he sent me was like, I can't wait the next time we see each other.
That's what I'm saying. She needs to like say something. That's why I was saying you need to say like, so now that we know his personality, pushy, you have to say like, just please respect, you know, it has nothing to do with you. I'm just going to it's better for me to just take a few months off.
Sam, how would you put it?
Say something about healing. I don't,
yeah, there you go.
Like, I need to heal.
Yeah,
and have your Hemingway moment in Barcelona where you're watching bulls fight and shit and smoking cigarettes. And you just, you know, you'll do yoga in your apartment and, you know, maybe cut the cigarette smoking in like half. Start there. And you'll have I think you have your moment. And if it's meant to be in a few months, you know, you got to give yourself a chance.
Yeah,
you know the old saying, if you love something, set it free. If it was meant to be, he'll fly back from Cairo, leave his wife and children and his secret life, where he's got some kind of weird immigration scam happening, and he'll eventually land in Barcelona, and you'll be together forever. It's a classic.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful?
Mine was if you love someone, set her free, and if she comes back, she forgot her charger, and she doesn't love you. It was about the charger.
Here's the thing that they don't understand, Angelica, is like as men, like it's really hard sometimes to like people can be very pushy. So it's like you have to have the right language that they will respect. Like he's just like, you know, like what you might have to say something that's like slightly rude.
We should go, but you literally have the ultimate excuse, which is that you're leaving the country and you're going to go on a vision quest. Just what Sam was saying. You're going to go get some healing in Spain, and you will contact him when and if you're ready to be in touch again. Until then, vaya con Dios.
Okay, thanks so much, guys.
Good luck.
And I love the podcast, so we might be drunk too. So.
Thank you. We got to get these two on.
Yeah, goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, I thought you met her and her husband.
No, that would be good too. We'd love to come on.
I'm telling you though, I remember once telling this guy, like I knew I didn't like him that much. He was like way older than me and kind of gross and like so pretentious and like, but he just kept coming around and I had nothing else. And my roommate was like, tell him he is not allowed to contact you for 10 days. And like, and I remember I sat down and he was like being kind of pushy and I was on the phone and I was like, can you please just respect that? And I made it like a respect me. And then after 10 days, I was like, oh my God, I do not like that guy.
That's why he was so pushy. He didn't want to give you the 10 days to realize.
Exactly. So I'm saying sometimes you have to like, be really aggressive. And maybe men, I'm sure men experience this too, but it's just like a typical woman thing.
That dude's been in that position before, and he knows that when you come to your senses, you're out. You know what I mean?
Totally.
That dude's been in that position.
Yep.
Right, yeah, totally.
This dude's been in that position too. The Egyptian guy, he's literally in that position with 5 different women in 5 different countries right now.
Watch him be a huge fan of this podcast. He's just like that. You guys are my favorite podcast.
Not anymore. He'll switch over to you. Seb, do you have time for one more call?
Please.
All right, let's do one more. Hey, Natasha.
Yeah, Moshe?
You know, I just came up with a quote, and I think it's going to get really popular.
What is it?
Knowledge is power.
That's
what do you think?
Really good. I love it.
Well, the people at Everlywell, they believe in my quote that they've never heard of as well, because what they do is provide at-home health tests so you can learn more about your body, more about your health, and more about what you need.
When you know more, you can do more. What if you could use science to discover more about your body? Find out what you need for your healthier tomorrow with Everlywell.
With over 30 at-home lab tests, you'll be able to choose the test that makes the most sense for you to get the answers you need, like the women's health test or the food sensitivity test. And after you take those tests, they have a variety of high-quality vitamins and supplements to help you support your overall health goals. Choose from a variety of options like vitamin D3, omega-3 fish oil, and more.
If you're a woman and you've been experiencing symptoms and don't know where to start, Everlywell is committed to listening and supporting your journey towards better health and wellness. The Everlywell Women's Health Test measures 11 biomarkers known to play a key role in your overall health and wellness and checks for any abnormal levels that may be keeping you from feeling your best.
Health is everything. Health is wealth. For the listeners of this show, Everlywell is offering a special discount of 20% off an at-home test at everlywell.com/honeymoon.
That's everlywell.com/honeymoon for 20% off your next at-home lab test.
everlywell.com/honeymoon. We're going to call Hassan in Harlem.
Nice.
Hey, Hassan.
Hey, how are you?
Good. You have a lot to live up to. We had an internationally jet-setting woman from Rome moving to Barcelona with a international lover situation she was dealing with. So I don't know. Bring your A game.
Wait, where's Hassan live?
Harlem, which isn't bad, but
okay.
it's not Rome.
I used to live on 138th and Riverside.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
I used to live on 108th. I love West Harlem, man. It's a beautiful area.
That's Sam Morril here, our friend, and we are here to talk to you. How can we help you?
Yeah. So I guess my question, which might sound a little like, might be a little ambiguous without any context, but it was, should I decide to essentially like start a family with an ex-girlfriend, even though I'm not 100% sure that kids is on my menu for the future?
I don't need any more information. The answer is no. Unless you are like,
should you nut in an ex? That's gonna be that's a bad idea probably. I don't know.
Yeah, he said his question was a little vague. Yours was more specific. Yeah. Should I nut in an ex?
Right.
Probably a bad idea.
Wait, what's the logic behind it? Why would you do it? To get her back, or is it because she wants?
Because he's ready for kids.
You want to know he's not. That's what he was saying.
He thinks he could be. She's convinced him.
Let me just ask, Hassan, is it like she's saying you could get me pregnant and I would do the bulk of the work and you would? It's like the ultimate man's fantasy where it's like, oh, I could be a third of a parent. I could have the love part and not the duty part, kind of a thing.
She's definitely swung that, but I'm not really interested in that part. So, I mean, we were together for about like 2 years through the pandemic. And, you know, she's always wanted kids. And then finally, we had a conversation and we separated for a few months because, you know, I wanted her to live her life and we've been dating other people. But, you know, I miss her a lot and I love her and we love each other. And so we've reconnected as friends. But, you know, it's never left my mind that she's like, she could be my person. We get along so well. And, you know, I've dated many people before her.
What is stopping you guys from being like sexually, are you not sexually attracted to each other at all?
No, he's saying he is maybe lightweight in love with her.
Yeah, I love her a lot. And the only thing that doesn't work is the fact that she wants children. And so because that's the thing, I don't know if maybe I should just bite the bullet and be like, you know what?
Of course.
Of course? Well, you could name the child Bite the Bullet, so they'll always know your thought process
Wait, if
going
you
into it.
love this person, so you're like what I was, like a situational breeder. Like if the situation is right, you'll have a child. And if, I don't know, I mean, unless you're like, you don't think you'll be a good dad. If you think you could be a good dad, then you should definitely have a kid because she wants to be a mom and you're in love with her.
But he doesn't want kids.
Well, then he needs to find another partner.
100% sure.
You're not 100%. Yeah, but that you gotta be pretty sure, right? I mean, you gotta be at least like 80, right?
Once they move,
70 is like it.
Once they move in, it's kind of too late. Like they're there for.
I was 70. I was pretty skeptical.
70%.
Yeah, I was like.
Are you happy now?
Now I'm like, I would like. Moshe tells me to stop telling everyone to have a baby because it's weird. But you know, it's like it definitely has like enriched my life, like in more ways than like I feel extremely superior at all times because like I feel like I just get to be in contact with a spiritual angel and like, you know, it's so special.
Hassan, how old are you?
I'm 33.
And is the calculus, do I never want to have kids or am I not ready yet?
Am I not ready yet? Yeah, I've dated women after that situation who don't ever want to have kids, and that doesn't make me feel good to know that. So,
that's a good indicator.
Ooh.
So you're like reading yourself. You're like, oh, so I do want to be. So when is the right time for you? I mean, you might have a
people do it old in New York.
Totally.
Yeah.
In LA too. I mean, do you want kids, Sam?
It's a situational thing. If the person is right, yeah, absolutely.
What about with Hassan?
Dude, I'll carry your baby. Science is crazy now. What do you think, dude? I mean, that's the only reason you guys broke up is the kids. There's no other problems.
Good question.
Yeah, it was just the kids thing. She really wants it. And
how old is she?
She's 35.
And a question for you, Hassan. When you
I got the answer.
You got the answer? Okay, I can hold my question. Go ahead. What's the answer?
You could pay for her to freeze her eggs, and then you could say like, we could do this. Just give me 2 years. If there's something specific you want to work on, you could be like, I want to promise myself to you because you guys are young. I had my child at 43, so maybe
Classic
that's like
age.
No, but that's on the old side. But I'm just saying, that's a decade difference. You know, split the difference, and you could say like 2 years. You know, let's freeze your. If you have, I mean, it's also very expensive. I understand, but you know, you could. If you could together come up with $15,000, I think
then send it to us at
endlesshoneymoonpod@gmail.com.
Yeah, we'll
no, but
get
it's just an idea because like maybe you're working on. I don't know. Maybe you're working on your career. Is there some? You've got to ask yourself, why aren't you ready? Are you just scared of the commitment? Because that's different. Or if you're like, I really wanted to be in a different financial place, or I really wanted to like whatever.
Or are you scared enough? For me, I was scared that I would not be able to have a young life anymore. Going out when I wanted.
Moshe
no
has fear of being basic.
Yeah.
Dude, don't you want to go to Tampa sometimes?
At Side Splitters? Don't you want to get a steak cooked for you at Side Splitters? What is the fear, Hassan? What are you scared of losing? If you had one tomorrow.
I mean, I think it's just the commitment.
Yeah.
Like you can't, once you have a kid, you can't get rid of it. I mean, I guess you can, but you can't.
Is real.
Yeah.
You can't undo that. You know, that's forever. And so it's kind of like, I guess I'm afraid, what if I have a kid and I'm like, oh man, I had this kid and now I can't go to Tampa.
Well, here's the thing. It is a crapshoot, but you have to trust that you'll
trust when you bust.
Change to accordingly for the love of that child, especially if you're in love with the parent and the mother or whatever. So I feel like there is a little bit of a leap of trust. Like I remember Moshe, I was like, what's it going to be like when we have a baby? You know? And he was like, she'll be great. We'll love her so much. And like, that never felt real to me. Cause I was like, how could that be?
I've never met
But I was
person.
willing, I was willing to take the jump, the leap, you know? And so it's like, because it was with him. So I think that like, if you feel that way, sorry.
You okay? She's been smoking a lot of dank.
If you feel that way, about the person, that's a good indicator of like, but I do think the 2-year thing, if you could freeze them, that might be good too.
Sam, what's your gut tell
well,
you?
we should say that, Casey Anthony called in this podcast and that we told her absolutely she should have a kid and she was ready. But my gut says that you seem like you'd be a great dad. You seem like you have a good temperament and you're not, you seem like you're patient and thoughtful and I think you'll know. I don't think we can tell you. I think like you're going to feel this out, this friendship, maybe. Maybe one night you guys will have a few too many glasses of red wine. You'll make the move. You'll feel her body on yours.
Oh, nice,
You'll
Sam.
reach under, play with that vagina a little bit.
Oh, my God,
work
yes.
the clit. And
Sam, the nanny just walked in.
Sorry.
Sam, are you sure you're not a father already? Because you sound like one.
I think you'll figure it out. It sounds like you still love her because you're kind of staying in each other's lives and. If that's the only thing, if you might want to be a dad, and that's the only thing keeping you guys apart, like I think this feels promising to me.
Yeah, I will throw some numbers at you, Hassan. You're 33 now. You're not quite ready, but if you had said to me,
you were 38.
If you had said to me, I'm not interested, right? That's not for me. Kids, are awful for me. I hate the idea. Then I would say, you don't do it. You'll ruin your life. You'll be miserable. But you're like, no, I want to have kids, but I just don't want to yet. Now you're 33. You're in New York 33, which means you think you're 23. But in fact, you're not. You're 33. And people only live to be like 80 years old. So let's say this woman is in your life and you love her and she's 35. So she's out if you're not down because she's like... clock's a ticking. So she's gone. So then you break up with her because of this thing, even though you love her, and then you go looking for another woman. And maybe it'll take you 3 years to find another woman that you love as much as her. Maybe you'll never find somebody. But let's say it's 3 years. Now you're 36, and then you're like, okay, then I'll start. And then you're 37. At a certain point, it's like you're going to become old guy chasing this like perfect situation.
He is so young.
It's not true. 33 is not young for childbirth in the
Sam,
scheme of...
how old are you?
I'm 35. I'm about to be 36. So.
What?
That's so young.
That's not young. That's just
not.
it's
New
younger
York
than...
young. We think we're young, but we're not. And he's right. I mean, New Yorkers. My mom had me super old. You know what I mean? Like,
Mine too.
Yeah.
If you were 23, I'd say you're tripping. Don't do that to yourself. If you were 43, I would say don't be a fool. Do it immediately. All I'm saying is you're not in the young zone so much that the life that you're going to adjust to is going to be so insane. I mean, I bet you're slowing down a little bit already. So it's like, yeah, this is a big adjustment. It is. There's no question about it. Our kid is here, actually. Anyway, I guess my point, Hassan, was not that I think you should do it, but if you're thinking of yourself as like, oh, but I want to maintain these like last years of freedom, it's like, it's only... what is it, 3 more years until you start to become in the zone of like, I had a kid at 38 and I feel like already panicked about the fact that I am not going to get as much of her life with me as I could have if I'd been a little younger. But I also feel like I got this great advantage because I didn't give up any of my fun. I had the fun and then I was ready. 33, I'll give you, it is a little young.
It is. It's New York young.
Yeah.
You're not that young, but I get. And look, I'm a New Yorker too. I get it.
Yeah, I've thought about that. I thought about if children are in my future, how much longer would I wait to have kids? And then, who would that person be? She's like perfect. If I want kids, perfect. She's a teacher. She loves kids. Her family's super supportive, and yeah, we get along super great. I mean, we met on like Tinder, like a month before the pandemic, and then I had lost my job, and I think she had let me move in with her, and throughout the entire pandemic, it was like a dream, right? It was just like everything was perfect, and arguing, made bread together, the thing people did. And then after like I got another job, and then I just knew like this is the future she wanted for herself. And because I was unsure at that time, I figured like I didn't want to waste any more of her time.
Right.
And now we're, after going on some other dates and having some other experiences, it just kind of is starting to like occur to me that maybe it's something that I could do that I'd want to do with her.
I think I figured it out. This is a math problem, right? Kids are a gigantic sacrifice. No matter how you do it, no matter when you do it, you're going to make a sacrifice. Your life is going to change. That's just the way it is. So that sacrifice, plus the sacrifice of like going out as much as you would like to in these years of your life, is on one side of the equation. On the other side of the equation is the sacrifice of losing this person that it feels so special to you. You just have to work it out. Is the sacrifice you would be giving up for the kid equal to or lesser than or greater than the sacrifice of losing this woman? If you can crunch the numbers and go, I want this woman so much that I'm willing to make the sacrifices necessary to have this kid now with her, because I know I'm going to have a kid in the future and there's going to be sacrifice there too, then I'm going to go for it. And when you do go for it, don't be like, I've decided maybe I'm down. You got to be like, I'm all in, because she's already feeling like you're not serious. But if you do crunch the number and you go, you know what? I would be willing to lose this woman to save these last few years of going out dancing and waking up hungover. Well, then, then you move on and you find love in the future, and you see what the future brings for you.
I'm hungover right now. It's not good. The last 3 days have been really bad hangovers, and I'm struggling, dude.
And I gotta say too, getting pregnant, it takes a while.
Right.
So it's kind of like it could be like a 2-year thing. So that commitment, you could just kind of give into it.
Moshe,
you used to always ask me, he's like, can I please go surfing after we have the baby? Will you still let me go surfing? And I was always like, yeah. And I still do.
Yeah, it's a negotiation.
I'm not like, no, I need your help at all times.
But it'll change your life. But I got to say, the sacrifice for me, it's not a sacrifice at all, because it's a different life. It's like opened up a new life where it doesn't feel like sacrifice anymore. Anyway, Sam, final thoughts?
I mean, you guys have a cute kid, though. Some people have ugly kids. So
that's true.
That's got to be tough. I don't know.
And the thing is, Hassan, we only know 50% of the equation. You're an attractive
you're
guy,
handsome, but we don't know what you're dealing with.
We don't know what this fucking teacher looks like. How do we know?
It sounds like I think I really think you are struggling with this, but I think you're gonna make the right choice for you. I feel it.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, good luck. Sometimes you have to leap, and the net will appear, which will be your very own cute kid.
Oh, he's gonna have a daughter?
So sweet.
It's gonna be a daughter?
A boy can be cute.
No, I thought you said she's gonna be really cute.
Oh, yeah, then maybe it's a daughter.
We're predicting a lot for you. I mean, look, don't ruin your life. The last thing you want, I know we're giving you two different sets of advice. The last thing you want is to look at your kid and go, fuck, I could have had fun. But
even if you do, that's okay. That's part of it. I think that's like realistic, I think that, but ultimately it's such a positive experience. I just don't think that's that bad, and I think a lot of people, and there's perks, like I'm going to be like elderly when my child's in college.
Is that a perk?
No, I'm saying there's perks to having it 10 years younger.
Exactly. Hassan, I'm looking at you. If you were like had a neck tattoo and like a few like diamond studded teeth, I might be like, this dude needs to party a little longer. You also seem like you got, no offense, but you got a little bit of dad energy coming off of you right now already. So I'm just thinking this could be good for you.
Okay, well, good luck, Hassan.
I don't know. You just seem like a decent, wholesome guy. I don't look
really
at you.
Does.
I don't look at you and go like, oh, this dude is gonna really miss flying into Vegas and fucking a bunch of hookers and smoking crack for the weekend. Like you seem like a regular.
I'm like this dude's packing lunches.
Yeah, you seem like a lunch packer.
Like he's got the like.
I can see you packing lunch.
He's cutting the crusts off.
Absolutely.
Oh well, thanks. Yeah.
Good luck with whatever you decide.
Thank you.
Good luck, honey.
Appreciate you. Goodbye. Sam,
you had so much good advice.
Oh, this was fun. This is a good podcast.
Oh yeah, we do 7 more calls. It's like Joe Rogan.
I love it.
Time wise,
Yeah.
just
Good,
so you're not making it to this wedding tonight. Okay, check out the special. It's on Netflix right now. Truly, it's hilarious, and you are hilarious.
Thank you.
I've
So
always.
are you guys. I'm happy. I never really get to talk to you guys.
I
It's
know.
cool.
I feel the same
Wait.
way.
This is how you get to know people now. You do their podcast.
Sam, you're gonna blow up. Your show, your specials on Netflix.
Yeah, the ship's sinking.
Yeah, right.
Same
It's
time
new
tomorrow.
Netflix,
It's over.
Wait, you can. People
Honey,
can search it right
honey,
now.
we have a special on Netflix.
It's probably gone.
And did we blow up? I feel like
this is a nice place.
Yeah, okay. We have an okay house.
This is a cool. I like your place a lot.
Thank you very much. Well, check them out. Thank you for joining us. And check out the podcast and the special. It's well worth it. Thanks for joining us, dude.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming.